Take this mind of mine. Take this mind of mine.
The United Nations making predictions that by 2050, we will be 9.7 billion people. If all these people get educated, get technologically empowered, 9.7 billion people or nearly 10 billion people on this planet is for sure going to be a disaster. Yes. We can make arrangements and arrangements, we can improve the arrangements, we can make more energy-saving machines, we can recycle the shit.
Step aside, skim milk. You're done, almond milk. There might be a new milk coming to town and it's about to crawl right into the dairy aisle at the supermarket. Cockroach milk. Scientists are saying cockroach milk could be one of the most nutritious things you can drink.
I am not a bigot. I am not a science denier. Cockroach milk is so much more sustainable and nutritious than real milk. I am a good global citizen who gets his recommended daily dosage of vitamin TV. The planet is dying because I exist. The good grown-ups on the TV screen are trying to help us solve this #climate crisis by helping us sterilize ourselves and eat sustainable nutrient-fortified vegan kibble so our sick, sad, dying mommy Earth can feel all better. I'm going to ask my wife's boyfriend if it is socially acceptable to consume cockroach milk as an ethical vegan and animal rights activist.
Discovered cockroach milk has 4 times as much protein as cow's milk. 4 times as much.
Yes. We can do all this, no matter what we create, no matter how much we strive, whatever we build, everything is going to be insufficient because the planet is going to be insufficient. I was in a conference and I said, see, unless you reduce the human footprint on the planet, there is no solution for anything. Then they asked me a brilliant question, how do you reduce the human footprint? I said, you have to reduce the number of feet. That's the only way. I'm not saying children are bad, they're wonderful, but it's just too many. We as human beings, we are wonderful, but we are too many. We are so many that the insect population is going down. No, it's not a joke, it's very threatening. If the insect population disappears, the planet will be destroyed. Yes, the worms disappear, the planet will be destroyed. If you and me disappear, planet will flourish. Our life expectancy has improved. This means we have taken death into our hands. When we take death into our hands, it is our business to take birth also into our hands, isn't it?
I feel so empowered on my vegan climate activist hero's journey. We are all one. I am a highly evolved god who evolved from cosmic pond scum. We are all God. I am you and you are me. We're a happy family that needs to save its dying mommy from our toxic exhalations by taking #climate action now with the more evolved good grown-ups at governments, banks, and global corporations to help educate us how to get rid of ourselves and all the toxic extra-human baby feet to decrease our atrocious carbon footprints and save the planet and evolution from ourselves, because we are all one.
We're standing here, for this is an emergency. We're standing here for all that we hold dear. We're standing here for beauty and diversity. And we're standing in the love that binds us all. And we demand our government must tell the truth.
Climate change tops the environmental agenda at present. We all know that every additional person will need to use some carbon energy, if only for firewood for cooking, and will therefore create more carbon dioxide. Similarly, we can all see that every extra person is or will an extra victim of climate change. I meet no one who privately disagrees that population growth is a problem. No one, except flat earthers, can deny that that planet is finite. We can all see it in that beautiful picture from our Earth, taken from the Apollo mission. Every one of these global problems, social as well as environmental, becomes more difficult and ultimately impossible to solve with ever more people. Thank you.
I am so glad the good grown-ups like David Attenborough and Prince Philip, friend of philanthropist Jimmy Savile, and the father of Prince Andrew, close friend of champion of science and philanthropist Jeffrey Epstein, are helping find solutions to all the extra people who need to stop existing. The #climate crisis make me so sad. The totally real death threats from the climate are so scary, and I need the good government grown-ups to fix it and give 16-year-old human shield Greta her future back.
He promoted this on television, and he went around all the agricultural shows, and he had it was a one-man thing, and it had a tremendous effect. It reduced it from 3% to 1%. But one of the things he said to the farmers, he said, look, you don't need all these children, it's ridiculous. You've got to feed them all, clothe them all, educate them all, and look after their health. So have a few, and then if you want to go on entertaining yourself, have a vasectomy. Oh, yes. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'll organize it for you. We'll have buses running into Bangkok on the King's birthday, very auspicious day. And you will go into, and he took over a whole lot of school halls and that sort of thing. And he showed me a photograph of all these beds and everything, and people went in, and I said, but how did they take it? Well, he said they didn't like being seen to have the operation. Oh, I said, really, how do you do that? I've had visions of, putting up. Oh, he said, it's quite simple, I blindfolded them.
I am so glad that Jimmy Savile's royal friend, Prince Philip, is helping all the extra people to not exist anymore.
What vegan birth control method would you recommend?
Vasectomy.
Hell yeah, baby! You heard me, you heard me, you heard him!
Well, get on board. Come on.
Yes,
What do you
I love
mean?
this guy.
Why should the women have to take pills?
I feel so empowered by the vasectomy I got from Dr. Gregor. We must help governments and media educate more people on the benefits of not having families or property, not eating real meat or animal foods, and living in smart city coffin apartment cubbies.
Don't screw the planet!
The Earth will be so happy and healthy if we eat sustainable nutrient-fortified vegan smart kibble that the good grown-ups at the transnational banks and corporations share with us.
You see, Fred's kids are millennials. They've just surpassed baby boomers to become the largest generation in American history. And they've all been moving back to the cities. But there are only so many houses and cars that can fit in a city. And this is where the sharing economy comes in. We now have these powerful computers, smartphones, in our hands.
I love sharing and do not hate science. The good grown-up champions of science like Jeffrey Epstein and his friends Bill Gates and Prince Andrew know what's best for me and the planet. I can't wait for the nice, happy, healthy corporate global technocratic government to ration and share resources with us. I wish I could help poor 16-year-old human shield Greta Thunberg to find a carbon-neutral ride back to Europe from America so she can meddle in the elections over there and save the planet from the extra people causing the totally real and not made-up #climate crisis.
That led Greta Thunberg to take to social media to call for help. She said, I've traveled around halfway around the world, but in the wrong way. And now she's looking for a way to cross back in the Atlantic by this COP25 summit now in Madrid.
We have tons of time to turn things around. Well, not tons, but enough. Assuming we all act now. Last month, we had an ant problem at my house. This is going to sound strange, but I felt somewhat in awe of their teamwork. In fact, spire ants are experts at teamwork. They're pretty tiny, right? But when faced with large challenges like crossing a river, hundreds or thousands of fire ants can work together to build structures out of their own bodies, like rafts. As a result, they can carry the entire colony across the river. Collectively, they do what is necessary to save the entire group. We too can work together.
Rejoice. I've found a solution to Greta's transportation problem that will get her to Europe and help decrease our atrocious carbon footprint that's killing poor mommy Earth and stealing poor little Prince Philip, Greta, and Bill Gates' futures. We must use the extra people's surplus human bodies to make a giant raft that can bring this brave, 16-year-old human shield back to Europe so she can help the good grown-ups at the global banks and corporations create the happy, sustainable, totalitarian world government to fight the #climate crisis that is our fault because we exist. Nature provides the answers and the wisdom of children will guide us on our journey to sustainability on our renewable carbon-neutral giant human corpse raft.
The things humans fear most is that we will be powerful beyond our belief.
I am empowered beyond my belief to take #climate action against myself to save the planet from myself by drinking cockroach milk, eating vegan kibble, putting the pee-pee in the poo-poo, and sterilizing myself. I am not deceived. I am not being programmed to self-destruct by toxic weaponized pop culture. I'm going to ask my wife's boyfriend if this sustainable giant human corpse raft is vegan friendly.
How do you do that? I have visions of, putting up. Oh, it's quite simple. I blindfolded them.
Microphone check. Here we are. There we go. We got Rockfin, we got YouTube. Look at that. Got about equal crowd on Rockfin and YouTube. We've been kind of slowly moving everybody over there to Rockfin, slowing down the YouTube output and kind of using YouTube as a bridge lately. Of course, Rockfin allows us to say what we want to say. We can say what we want to say over there on Rockfin. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. I'm not sure if you guys knew, but actually, YouTube, let me just... YouTube has recently decided that they would prohibit ads and monetization on channels that are climate deniers, that deny the climate. So good thing we don't deny that there is climate here, because we would be in really big trouble, because YouTube and Google are going to prohibit ads and monetization on climate denial content. So just, for the record, YouTube, we believe in climate. We believe that it exists. We believe that it's never supposed to change, and that any change that happens to it is clearly our fault. We take full responsibility for it. Our children, our carbon footprints, that's why the climate changed, right? Today, the climate, it changed, right? The sun was up earlier and it went down. We clearly haven't paid enough taxes, and we apologize for causing all this change in climate everywhere. It's a shame that the climate suddenly changed when it's never changed before. But we're with you on that, YouTube. We think that anybody who dares to speak out against the science should most definitely be punished to the fullest extent of the law, right? Perhaps ostracized and removed from society, right? Perhaps even refused their green pass, right? We think that we're in full agreement that these green passes that they're implementing in countries like Italy, that those should most definitely include a carbon footprint gateway. Excuse me. We believe that the carbon footprint should be taken into account on these green passes, right? Now, if you're not up to date on your boosters, or if you've been using your your turbo boosters too much on your gas guzzlers, you shouldn't be able to participate in society. I mean, we fully agree that if you've ever said bad words on the internet, you also should not be able to fully participate in society. And you should be barred from the smart city, carbon neutral utopia that we're all building together, right? We're super excited for this. And the World Economic Forum is almost as excited as we are. So this carbon neutral future, it's coming, you guys. It's coming. It's almost here, right? We're getting to net zero soon, right? I know a lot of you guys have been wondering, dude, when are we gonna hit net zero carbon emissions, right? Like when are we gonna finally hit net zero? Not zero, net zero, right? Like when you look on the back of what are those stupid low carb bars called? Quest bar. When you look at a Quest bar, right? Now it's not zero carbs. It says zero carbs in the front, right? But actually it's like about net zero. Yeah, because you play all these games, you don't count fiber as carbohydrates. Some of these sugar alcohols, you don't count as carbohydrates. So it's net zero, right? Net zero means if I pay for my neighbor's abortion, I'm allowed to have a child. Okay, that gets us to net zero. This is really scientific stuff, guys. We got to make sure the planet's heating up. It won't stop heating up. If we don't do certain things and pay certain taxes, right, and implement certain systems of governance, of control of human movement, of human behavior, if we don't do all of that stuff, the climate might not stop changing. I'm not trying to freak any of you guys out. I'm not trying to scare you. I know this might sound a little bit alarmist. A lot of you guys might be really concerned. Okay, look, we're gonna figure this out, guys, and the science is almost there. Right? The science is settled. The climate's changing. It's never supposed to change. Right? And we need to get to net zero as soon as possible. And guess who's going to help? Well, the World Economic Forum, of course. The World Economic Forum is going to help. And this little video here is just a taste of what we're going to get into today. Tonight we are getting in on, we're talking about, actually we're going to hit on this crazy video from 2010, the Plannedopolis Mega Cities video. Mega Cities on the Move. Plannedopolis. We're going to talk about this video right here from 2010. Now this upload to YouTube was from 2011, but this 2010 video that was put on by Vodafone, which is a big international telecommunications company, as well as the FIA Foundation. The FIA Foundation, which is, what does FIA stand for again? Excuse me. The FIA, there it is. The Foundation of Automobile No, I'm sorry. The foundation for the automobile and society is the FIA. That doesn't even make sense. You would think there would be something that starts with an I in the FIA's foundation, but maybe they started in another language. But yeah, as you can see here, a bunch of grassroots activists, young children. These kids, there's nothing they care about more than My World, the United Nations Global Survey for a Better World. Walk Safe, myworld2015.org. There's nothing that little African children care about more than this website, walksafe.myworld2015.org. They're super worried. These kids are super worried. They know that the carbon emissions are just crazy. They realize that every time they exhale, carbon is coming out of them. Carbon dioxide. Dioxide. So we're standing with these children and with these philanthropists at the FIA Foundation and at Vodafone, one of the biggest telecommunications corporations in the world, a transnational corporation that runs telecommunications networks throughout Africa, Asia, the UK. And we're gonna check out this video that they sponsored back in 2010. 2010. All right, so we got the World Economic Forum here. And just to preface this, this is how you lower carbon footprints, right? You ban private vehicle ownership, which we're going to get to this later. All right, the roadmap is here. The roadmap is public. Private vehicle ownership banned. You guys can't drive your cars anymore. Too much carbon. All right, too much freedom of movement. You guys are interfering with the natural processes of the world. You're destroying the planet. Mama Earth is super sad. She's really bummed out that none of you guys are listening to Prince Charles, to Prince Philip, to David Attenborough, Sir David Attenborough, excuse me. She's super bummed out that all you guys are still selfishly using vehicles. Yeah, so long term, what we're looking at, what we're discussing today, is how private vehicle ownership will slowly and surely be abolished, eventually just completely banned, right? They're going to phase out private vehicle ownership. The roads will not be maintained anymore. The roads will not be for you and I. I will not be able to get into if these people get their way, right? Now, do I think this will happen for sure? Well, I hope this can be stopped. I hope this could be at least slowed down. And I sure hope that this doesn't go through, because this is not any future that I would want to live in. But private vehicle ownership to be abolished, roads gone, done maintaining roads. All right, social credit system, digital identity, tied in, biometric ID, tied in with your DNA, with regular testing of your DNA, regular testing of your blood for diseases, of course, right? We have to save us from the health crisis. This is going to allow you transport via things like drones and so-called autonomous vehicles, right? They always use these names: freedom, right? Liberty, fraternity, equality. The unholy trinity of the French Revolution, right? And these are empty terms, right? What is liberty? Liberty. What is fraternity? What do you even mean by equality? Right? Oh, it's the sharing economy, bro. It's the sharing economy where the state and corporations will share drone transport for you if you're approved, if your social credit is right, if you have enough social credits, and you can be able to be transported by drones or autonomous vehicles in between certain designated zones where you're going to be constantly surveilled. Like this might sound absolutely insane. I agree. This is crazy. This is complete insanity. But this is what these people are talking about. So here we go. We get the World Economic Forum. Check out their little clip here. The UK is opening the world's first pop-up airport for flying cars. Oh, look how futuristic this is. Oh, look how whoa, drones, bro. Including electric air taxis and drones, heralding an age of zero-emission urban aircraft. So they call this zero-emission urban aircraft. Look at these big, long strips of what looks like solar panels in this 3D modeling, this terrible Nintendo 64 level 64-bit 3D model. And the street is paved with solar panels. Oh, it's so beautiful, it's so good, right? Like, there's zero emissions for those. First of all, where are you going to get The batteries. Where are you going to get the material for storing this energy? This is a major problem with things like solar. Anybody who's looked into like setting up solar panels, you got batteries. You need a bunch of lithium, right? You need a bunch of materials like cobalt, which you also need for all the supplements that you require if you go on the plant-based diet that these people are trying to bring about and mandate to us. Right? You're going to need to store this energy somehow. But no. This is green. We're gonna get rid of your roads. You're going to eat filtered poo-poo water from Bill Gates. Bill Gates is going to filter your poo-poo, and you drink the diarrhea H2O filtered from your poo-poo Brita. You have your poo-poo Berkey, your diarrhea Berkey water filter that you can sip on, and that's so sustainable, right? And this is. You can fly on these drones, right? Where are you going to get all the metals for this, all the plastics for this? Oh, no, but it's green, though, because you don't own it. It's green, though, because it doesn't have fossil fuels, as they call them. Right? You're not using fossil fuels. You're not burning the dinosaur bones, so it's okay. No dinosaur juice. No dinosaurs died for the creation of these craft. But, of course, you do need diesel for the machinery that's used to mine this stuff. Lots of human slavery and human trafficking involved in the extraction of these minerals and metals and whatnot for this stuff. But hey, let's not think about that. Let's just think about it how it's zero emission. We'll call it zero emission, and you'll think you're saving the planet by living in Walmart and being transported between your approved congregation zones by drone. The company behind it plans to develop 200 sites in 5 years. 200 more sites like this. Whoa, it's so futuristic. Zero emission. Wow. 60% the size of a standard heliport. They'll be the smallest airports in the world, too. Constructed and dismantled in just days, right? So these things can be broken down, brought somewhere else. Hyundai has come on board as a partner as part of its plans to commercialize air taxis by 2028. Now look, this all kind of sounds nice, but when you see how things are being rolled out right now, where you need certain behaviorist, you need a QR code proving that you've jumped through the proper hoops that the state and corporations tell you to jump through, right? When you've gotten your boosters jumping through those hoops, then maybe you'll be able to have a job. And maybe you'll be able to access a grocery store, right? You don't think that they're going to continue to implement the social credit score, the social credit system that's being rolled out with these apps? Of course they are. Of course, and that's part of the new economic model, right? The so-called sharing economy, carbon credits, right? These are behavior-based credit systems. And credit card companies like Visa and MasterCard have already discussed using your internet search history to decide your credit score, right? You already have credit cards developed that will cut you off when you reach your carbon limit. This is all here. All right, the stuff we talked about years ago, the stuff we've been talking about for years, it's all right here, right now. So, of course, these systems of these cybernetic control over your behavior are going to be used if you want to access this stuff. But it's zero emission, guys. Oh, man. Don't you hate sitting in traffic? Well, if your social credit score is high enough, if you've consumed the right talking head talking points and repeated them that haven't been reported for a wrong thing, then you can travel in these drones. The urban air mobility market, they say it's going to be worth $500 billion just in the U.S. Researchers estimate they could account for 4% of all domestic flights by 2050. How else can we reduce congestion and pollution in the cities? Open-ended question. Oh, how else can we? How else can we?
Oh, Elmo, no. Elmo, Daddy said we can reduce carbon emissions. Elmo, Daddy said we reduce carbon emissions if we listen to David Attenborough. Yeah, David Attenborough said we need to stop having babies because Elmo's daddy had too many kids. Elmo Daddy have one child. That's so selfish. Prince Charles David Attenborough said you should have 0 children. You should just be playing video games and learning how to be good global citizens in front of your surveillance devices.
All right, so that's the World Economic Forum. Let's see. I mean, Archer James says, the WF promotes technocratic feudalism, right? They're trying to sell you a sci-fi fantasy dream where the reality will assuredly be a nightmare. I don't know how anybody can see that and just think, oh wow, that's just purely for altruism, right? They're just doing this because they love me. Obviously, I mean, anybody who's done any research into the World Economic Forum, where they come from, Klaus Schwab, this son of a literal Nazi, Klaus Schwab. His mother was Jewish and had to flee Nazi Germany. His father received an award for running a company that was, I think the award was for being a model National Socialist company. So Klaus Schwab, he knows all about these public-private partnerships. Yeah, Klausy boy knows exactly what's up with the public-private partnerships. It's in his blood. It's in his blood. All right, so we got the mega cities that are coming, right? And I know this seems like, oh, it could be kind of green, right? You'll decrease your use of jet fuel and whatnot. Sounds kind of nice, right? Well, where are you going to get the electricity? Where are you going to store this electricity? All right, there's no such thing as as net zero. This whole idea about net zero emissions, it's complete hogwash. It's complete nonsense. Right? They do all this moral arithmetic and moral calculus using computer models and algorithms to determine whose carbon footprint is this high and whose is that high. And guess who determines this? Big tech and the corporations that develop and sell you on this technology and get governments to buy this technology and go into public-private partnerships with these corporations. All right, the public-private partnership model developed by the Rockefeller Foundation. Since the inception of the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913, the public-private partnership has been the linchpin of their philanthropic endeavors, right? Oh, we're philanthropists. We're philanthropists. And we promote governments working with corporations to mobilize massive amounts of resources and protect our monopolies. That's essentially what these foundations were designed to do. The Ford Foundation, the Rockefeller Foundation. This is what they're here for. All right, so let me come over here to all you bigots, you bigots and bigettes over here on Rockfin. You guys are awesome. Rockfin crew is so freaking awesome. Look at you guys. You guys are already tipping. You guys are showing some support for the stream here. We really appreciate the support you guys give us. Stakeholder, #1 tip. The first tip, he tipped before the stream even started. That's a stakeholder knew that he needed to get his social credit score up. He knew that I was going to be possibly rating his behavior, and stakeholder is being a good global citizen and decreasing his carbon footprint by helping to support the stream here, which you guys, this stream is net zero. All right, this stream is net zero, right? For every $5 you tip like stakeholder, we will make sure to decrease the flatulence coming from our vegan friends, right? By convincing more vegans to go back to a healthy, human-friendly diet. We will be reducing the flatulence levels of vegans all over the world, and you are helping to support the cause here. So thank you very much, stakeholder, with that $5 tip. Day Gyre, look at that, Day Gyre. That might be the #1 tip. You might be the top tipper. Day Gyre, thank you very much for that $20 tip. It says boom. DAYJYER. It's a name that sounds familiar. Almost sounds like somebody I met today. The King of Monet. I remember the King of Money. The King of Money, what's up, dude? The King of Money. He must have been so busy ruling over all of his money. The King of Money, tip $5, says, yo, Mang, sorry I haven't been in the streams in a hot minute. My school / attempting to leave California has been nuts. I'm still watching when I can, though. Dude, I'm glad you're still tuning in. I was hoping that I was hoping that you didn't reach net zero. That's all. That's what I got to say about that. I'm glad you've not reached net zero and are still around.
You want to find out?
Whoa.
Find out.
Whoa.
Find out. You'll come at me and you'll find out how strong I am eating a plant-based diet.
Uh-oh.
Okay? You'll find out.
Okay. Thank you, Mark Passio. Rudely interrupted there with a, look at that, our buddy the Green Feathers. The Green Feathers, you sent a tip last stream too. Thank you, man. The Green Feathers says, good to see you, Tristan. Feel free to check out some of my newer content, brother. Your message needs to be shared. I would love to do a brief interview about some health topics on my channel. Hey, man, let's do it. Let's do it. The Green Feathers, shoot me an email, man. Shoot me an email. Tristan, Tristan, at primaledgehealth.com. Have your people contact my people at that email, and we'll set it up, man. Let's do it. The Green Feathers, that's your YouTube channel, The Green Feathers. I did look at your YouTube channel the other day after that tip. Thank you very much. The Green Feathers. Fellow Orthodox bro. And yeah, dude, much appreciated. Appreciate the tip. Let's do it. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, we're about to transition over there to Rockfin, right? We got, how much we have? How much time do we have? We've probably got about, we got like maybe 5 minutes left on YouTube. And then we'll be going over there to Rockfin. So, link, let me find, that's what, I'm meandering here because I'm trying to find the link to drop it in the stream. There we go. If you're watching on YouTube, we got about 10 minutes left, and then we're gonna be going into some heavy science denial. We're gonna be going into some heavy science denial content over there on Rockfin. Switch over to Rockfin. Jump over to Rockfin right now. If you're on YouTube, pull up a tab. Now, I use it. I like the browser better, especially if you're on mobile device. First of all, because I don't think the app doesn't allow tips. Right? That's how y'all keep the streams going. That's how you guys keep it going. So please make sure to check it out over there. Check it out on Rockfin. We'll be there in a minute. Let me just read these tips. Tech-Noir Graphics, another one of my favorites here. Tech-Noir Graphics. Speaking of Mark Passio, Tech-Noir Graphics actually used to be in Mark Passio's super rockin' rock band. Little known fact, Tech-Noir Graphics, talented musician, talented artist, and Mark Passio used to be in his band. How about that? That's what we'll say. So he has obviously left that cringe reality of libertarianism and libertarianism and Luciferianism, essentially, which is what Mark Passio teaches. So, hey, Tech-Noir Graphics, tip at $5. One of my favorites says, Rojogan doesn't seem to have any issues with the WEF Gupta proposed. The red pill is the new gaslight. What? Yeah, I didn't see that. What did he say? You have to shoot me a DM over there on Instagram where we regularly chat. If you got a link to that. Kaylee Owens, tip $10, says, thank you, Tech-Noir Graphics, for teaching me how to leave a tip. Tristan, do you have any thoughts on the drought plan for the Midwest U.S. next year, along with other DARPA weather manipulation? Advice for people trying to get into permaculture self-reliance with all that in mind. Kaylee, yeah, look, water is crucial. Water is crucial. So first of all, get to somewhere where you have natural water, right? Where you got springs, a river nearby, right? Like water. I remember my mom told me that her dad told them when I think it would have been in probably the late 70s, said that one day people are going to pay for bottles of this stuff concerning water. And they were like, no, that's crazy. Why would anybody pay for bottled water? He said, no, the people will fight wars about this. And they all thought this was crazy, right? And look at us now. So yeah, water is a valuable resource. So what can we do? Well, storing rainwater is an important thing. There are people in the Midwest, I think, well, not the Midwest, but like Oregon, I think it's illegal to catch rainwater, which is just, how criminal is this? To make it illegal to catch rainwater from your roof. Your roof is catching it anyways. If you store that rainwater from your roof, though, that's illegal. in some places. I think Washington State, I'm not sure what, is it Colorado as well? Whew, insane. Absolute insanity, right? But, storing rainwater from the roof, that's one thing you can do. Just getting large tanks and storing water in there in case there are rolling water blackouts. The situation with the California water supply is a giant mess. It's an engineered mess in many ways, and it's a poorly engineered system, right? Diverting the Colorado River, what they did with the water system in California, and this was done a long time ago, right? Like the film Chinatown actually is about the messy water situation and how that kind of came about. It's a fictionalized account of it, but yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. So, I mean, first of all, get away from California. In the Midwest, there's a lot of usable land, but I mean, we're looking at engineered drought, stuff like that. It can get messy. So, yeah, store water when you can. Filter water that you do store if you're going to drink it, because the rainwater is not always clean, depending on where you're at. It can be very dirty, in fact. So, yeah, don't want to get too deep into that. Thank you very much for the tip, by the way. And shoot, hey, what you learned, please let us know, inform us, so we can maybe shoot some resources out there for other people. But it's going to depend on your microclimate. It's going to depend on, I mean, if you're in the mountains or if you're near a river, right? It's going to be different things you can do. We also have water issues here. Not so much engineered drought, well, maybe, but where we live has a dry season, an intense dry season. So yeah, we go through a period of drought. Animals get a little skinnier, but they put on weight when the rainy season comes. We get about 6-month rainy season, and thank God the rain started the last few days. So we're praying that we get more rain. Usually it starts in like November. Sometimes starts a little earlier. Sometimes September. Every once in a while. But yeah, we're mid-October and we just started getting some rain. So hopefully we get some more rain, because the animals, they're starting to get a little skinny. Grass gets real dry. All right, Little Frog tip $10. Thank you, Little Frog. Look at that. All you guys testing the tip button out. We got the $10 tip button is working, $5 tip button is working, 20 is even working. So someone's gonna have to test that 50. Someone's gonna have to test the 100 eventually. It's been maybe a couple months since people have tested that 100. Little Frog testing the $10 tip button says my work mandated the vaccine. So I posted a resource to help my coworkers get religious exemption, and immediately got shamed by those snarky, I effing love science dweebs. If I don't get exemption, I can be terminated. So far, it's looking good. Please pray for me. God bless. Yeah, that's crazy. Check out Orthodox Ethos, the Orthodox Ethos website. Sorry, sometimes I forget that we're on YouTube. I should have said V-word. So yeah, the Orthodox Ethos, orthodoxethos.com. They have great resources for religious exemption. Porch Turds, $5 says, watch a debate with Destiny. What a degenerate. Atheistic materialism is a house of cards. Yeah, that's very nice of you to just call him a degenerate. All right, guys, if you're on YouTube, we might do another like 5 minutes on YouTube, but you know what? No, let's go over there right now. Let's go over there. We're gonna learn a little bit from Elmo about how to be a good global citizen, right? About human interaction in the new world, in the human interaction for a good global citizen like Elmo, and we're gonna do that over on Rockfin. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, jump over there on Rockfin. We're talking about this crazy. We're gonna get into this crazy video, Plannedopolis, right? This freaking Cl0wn world, Great Reset style megalopolis that these people are telling us is going to be the future city. Mega cities on the move, Plannedopolis, in a world of fossil fuels and expensive energy. The only solution is tightly planned and controlled urban transport. And guess what? It's not just urban. We're talking smart villages, smart towns. They want smart everything because it's smart, guys. Like, what do you hate? Smartness? What are you against progress and science? You don't like smart? What do you want to live in a dumb town? You don't want to live in a smart town or a smart city? You want to live in a dumb city? Come on, bigot. All right, guys, we're watching on YouTube. We're peacing out on YouTube because we can say what we want over there on Rockfin. So thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Share the videos, like the videos. Go over there to Rockfin. Let's get this stream started. take a quick intermission. I'll be right back.
Take